Gonna hold it in 8th gear and just throw it in. And look at that. So in F1 23, the question everyone's wondering, what is the handling improvement like? How does the traction compare to F1 22? Well, let's find out. Thank you to EA for sponsoring today's video. Right, so heading into the time trial menu, we're just going to do a lap of each circuit so far. I believe there's 7 tracks on the game. Playable at this moment. There are 6 updated cars with the remaining 4 to follow. So today we'll be driving the Red Bull, the Alfa Romeo, the Alpine, Alfa Tauri, Aston Martin, and the McLaren. So we'll start with the Red Bull at Bahrain. Now, what's interesting is I've just come from F1 22, so this is genuinely raw first impressions. We'll get to see exactly how the car behaves. So I'm expecting a big change on the traction and a big change on the way the car behaves in general. We're going to run default setups, nothing fancy there, but actually, so you can see the wings are the same. So obviously in F1 22, they introduced 0 to 50 wings, giving a more kind of accurate setup, more adjustment. Now you can also do that on the suspension, the anti-roll bar, the ride height, as well as the tire pressures as well, which basically just means we're going to see more precise setups again in F1 23, which is always nice. Okay, so heading straight into the lap then. You notice some of the, I believe some of the brake balls have been updated here. Either way, that's not all we're here for. No doubt the car will be a little bit understeery on the default setup. So I can already feel punching the car on the exit there, but it's not very predictable in terms of where it's going to move. Oh, locking up the brakes there, although there's a reason why. We want to reduce that down a bit. Better. And look at that, just planting the throttle in 3rd gear there and it sticks. Again, same again, turn 10. But I have no doubt we can carry much more speed than that, but it just feels so glued to the track. I'm pinning the throttle in gears I wouldn't normally. Probably reduce the diff down as well. First up to the line, and that's a lap of Bahrain in the Red Bull. And now we move on to, it is going to be Miami as the next circuit. So very interesting there. Just doing 1 lap of Bahrain and you can feel the car behaves a lot differently to F1 22, particularly on the traction, but also the way the car rotates through the corners. It just feels a lot more predictable when, for example, you get a step of oversteer to catch and save the car. It feels a lot more predictable and a lot easier as well, I think, in general. Right then, guys, hot lap of Miami then. Whether we invalidate or not, we set 1 lap and move on to the next one. This is in the Alpine, of course, different sounding notes for the engine. We head into turn 1. Missing the apex there, beautifully. We're just able to get on the power still very early. A lot of understeer, obviously the setup is default, so we all know how fun those are. The car still, for a default setup, rotates so nicely. Just a reminder, by the way, that this version of the game that you're seeing right now is absolutely nowhere near the finished version of the game, so things like track limits, the way the circuit looks, are of course subject to change on the final version. Let's take a low gear through here. Oh, we are. We're in 2nd gear. Okay, let's try the traction out of here. It just really doesn't struggle that much at all. Yeah, I know we were all over the place on the apex there, but still able to get on the power so early. Final corner can be tricky, especially when you go that deep. A bit of complaining there on the crest on the exit. It's always awkward, but it's up to the line. That's a lap of Miami done then. On to the next one. Right, next up then is Imola in the McLaren. See how this one feels. Imola's a great track. Enjoy driving this one. So much rotation in fourth, wow. So we're at 60 front brake bias, 55 steer. See how this one feels. Things to turn one. Did not want to be in sixth gear then, but it feels like it's got so much. Able to get it rotated into 8th gear so easily on the power early. Big lock up there. Again, just not struggling at all. Foot planted in 3rd gear. Down to the famous Aqua Rally. It's in the apex slightly, but in that one tucked up. Through the last chicane, down into the Ravazza left-handers. I think the word of the video so far is predictable. Car feels very predictable indeed. Feels like you got a much better read of where the car is heading, how it's reacting to the load thrown through the car. So next track is going to be Canada. Already a very different sound to this Ferrari power unit in the Alfa Romeo. Oh, and hang on, hold up. I have been waiting for this for a long time. Look at the brake boards. The brake boards are finally off the floor, so they can no longer be destroyed. That, for any fellow no-line users, that is beautiful. Right then, so here's a hot lap of Canada, and the first thing you notice, guys, look at all the brake boards. They're up high, out of the way. You can no longer destroy them here. That's awesome. Those of you guys that drive online, been waiting for that one for a while as we just get a bit of a complaining rear end there. Interesting that the brake boards have moved then. Whoa, losing the back end then, but again, the car is just so predictable. Able to save that. If that's F122, we're gone. Able to hold that. We should have gone for 2nd gear then, but my muscle memory from F122 kicking in. Down to the final chicane there, Frankfurt's braking right. It's not right at all, but it's okay, it's up to the line, and that is a lap of Canada. Right then, guys, we're here at Silverstone in the Aston Martin. Track that is one of my favourites, and you can see this track has changed quite drastically. The curbs are very different. Sausage curbs certainly changed. And wow, this feels so comfortable in 8th gear. The one we're looking for here, guys, is COPS. Now, in IRL... Oh, we can just plant it in 3rd gear. In IRL, the cars take COPS 8th gear flat. In F122, it was very much 7th gear and full lift. But let's try it now, shall we? Gonna hold it in 8th gear and just throw it in. And look at that. Could have even done a much better line through there. It's still stuck easy. Oh, this feels great. Loving this at Silverstone. Rotation feels fantastic. And this is actually a higher speed setup, this one. This is quite low wing. I believe we're running something like 2012. So it's more like what we saw in F1 22. We missed the apex there massively. That's fine. We got on the curb, nearly lost the car. That's a lap of Silverstone then. So next up is Hungary in the Alfa Tauri, as you guys can see. I believe I haven't mentioned it so far in the video, but just want to let you guys know that I do run no assists. If you're wondering, of course, there's no traction control, no ABS, nothing like that. Go very deep turn one. Bring on the power very early. DRS zone's always very early in Hungary as well, but so far at this stage of the build for F1 23, looks like there's not really been adjustments to Hungary. We misjudged that left-hander. And it just feels so planted on the traction. Yeah. So easy to get the car flipped in, get on the power early, and read where it's going to go. Remember, I've just come from F1 22. I've not been grinding this for hours on end. These are raw first impressions, and it's feeling very good so far. And that's a lap of Hungary. Okay, guys, so last up for the tracks is Brazil. This will wrap up the 7 tracks that we're currently able to run. By the way, I really do like these updated graphics. The Red Bull logo on the top left. All looks very clean, very tidy, just like real life. We've got massively there into turn 1. This is an increased top speed setup, I believe. But it really, honestly, the confidence it gives you on the throttle pedal is huge. This corner, turn 4 was never an issue on power. Still looks like in sector 2. That's not ideal. Massive lock up there. Let's take second gear. Again in third, it just doesn't show any sign of losing the rear. Third again. Third gear is a lot more comfortable. Less short shifting on exits. The car just rolls through nicely. And that then rounds up the lap so far. So I hope you guys enjoyed the first impressions from the laps that we did around the tracks with the cars as well. Mainly just looking at the handling model and how the traction works on this new game. And I got to say, first impressions are great. I really do think that there's been a big overhaul, big change from F1 22. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. There is a lot of stuff we can cover here as well, and I'm able to post more content and share more. So please let me know down in the comments what you would like to see in F1 23 moving forwards. As always, appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.